in? Okay, now yes. I'm back. Perfect. So today, the idea is that we start working or reviewing the different types of words in English. Yeah. No. Wait. Sorry. I have to. Yeah. They 30. Should be this one. Yes. No. Now, yes, I'm ready. As you can see, well, in this sentence, we put every different type of word in English in a different color. And we are going to go through each and one of these types in these few classes that we have left. The first type of words that we are going to talk about are the nouns. Why the nouns? First, because they are the subjects or the objects in our sentences. Yeah. And the subject, it's kind of the most important thing in your sentence because it's the one doing the action. Yeah. So they are the responsibles of what is happening in that sentence. In this case, we have our example is, come on. The researchers analyzed the data thoroughly, and she presented the significant findings at the latest conference. Yeah. So nouns, as you can see, are researcher, data, findings, and conference. All the things, objects, places, names, persons, yeah. Languages are nouns also. Countries are nouns, yeah. And what is, okay. The second type of word that we have are the determiners. What type of object, what type of noun do I have? Yeah. In this case, we have the as determiners. We are going to see that there are more determiners in English. Pronouns. In this case, our pronoun, the only pronoun that we have here is he. Pronouns replace nouns and noun phrases. We are going to see that we use them to avoid repetition. If I say, Kata is a researcher, and I want to keep talking about Kata, I'm not going to start the next sentence with Kata again. I'm going to talk about she. Yeah, I'm going to replace Kata by the corresponding pronoun to avoid repeating all the time. Verbs, which are actions, and states, actions as go, do, cook, have breakfast, write, or states like be. I am, I feel, I look. Yeah, those are states. I look nice. It's not an action. It's a state. Me veo linda. I didn't put any energy on that. It's an action. It's a state, sorry. Adjectives, qualities. Yeah. They describe or modify nouns. So I can say a large house, a small building, yeah, large and small, they are qualities, they are adjectives, and they are modifying house or building, which are the nouns. Adverbs. Like in Spanish, although in Spanish we never learn what they are, they modify verbs, adjectives, or another adverb. And adjectives, they always talk, adverbs, they always talk about how, when, where something is done. We are going to talk tomorrow about adverbs, I believe. But just for now, adverbs are all the words that end in mente. Rápidamente, like quickly, slowly, which is lentamente. But those are not the only ones. Frequency adverbs, always, never, often, they are also adverbs because they talk about how frequently, when something happens. Prepositions, they describe the relationship between words. In Spanish, some of you might remember them. A, ante, con, contra. In English, they are a little bit more difficult to remember and they are a little bit more confusing, but we have words such as in, on, into, within. Yeah, those are prepositions and they describe relationships between words. Not only spatial relationships, but other kind of relationships also. And the last type of words are conjunctions, which are words that link other words, phrases, or clauses, such as and, but, so. Yeah, all those are conjunctions. So to start with nouns, here we have 4: researcher, data, findings, and conference. What we first have to know about nouns in English, it's that sometimes you can count nouns and sometimes you cannot count them. Yeah. For example, person, it's countable. You can count 1 person, 2 persons, 3 persons. I know it sounds off, but the word persons in plural does exist, although we don't use it very much. We say people. So people are, because people, it's always plural. People are interested. How many people are there? Yeah, people always are. We have knife, which is cuchillo, and the plural is knives, theys. Yeah, we have different countable nouns, and for those countable nouns, you will find a singular form and a plural form. In some cases, the singular and the plural are the same, but let's not get too complicated. And for those, you can use the, a, and an. You can say the people, the person, la persona, a day, un día, an analysis. Yeah, in a few slides, we are going to see when to use a and when to use an. And then we have uncountable nouns, which are only singular. They don't have a plural form. And you can only use the with those. Yeah? Because you cannot say una. You cannot say a research. You can say a research project. But the main noun there, it's project, not research. Research, it's uncountable. You cannot count research. You need another unit to count research. You can say research projects, research papers, research activities, and that way you can make it plural and count them. But you cannot actually count research. The same happens with all fluids and usual things like coffee, sugar, rice, in which you cannot count how many grains of sugar you have. You can count cups, you can count kilos, packets, but you cannot count the actual sugar. Yeah, the same happens here. One particular uncountable noun in English, it's advice, consejo. In Spanish, consejo can be plural. Me dio 3 consejos. In English, advice cannot be plural. So you can have some advice, algo, a piece, una pieza, a piece of advice. Yeah, that way we can make it countable. But the word advice is always uncountable. Perfect. Okay. We have a particular type of noun, which is the possessive noun. And I'm sure that when I show you this, you will say, oh, I've seen that. And these possessive nouns, they show ownership or a relationship between things. Here we have examples. The researchers' lab, meaning the love of the researcher. To save words, we can write it like this. We put an apostrophe and an S when it's a singular noun. If it's a plural noun, which ends in S, we only add the apostrophe, the students' books. We could also say the books of the students, but it sounds less natural. Here we have an irregular plural noun, women. Singular for it's women, woman. Plural, it's women. So to make that a possessive noun, we add apostrophe S. This is a compound noun. Sister-in-law means cuñada. And it's compound because it has more than one word included. The whole thing, it's the noun. Yeah, sister-in-law. And you write it like this with these hyphens here in the middle. And again, you add apostrophe S. In this case, it's shared ownership, meaning I'm talking about the apartment that belongs to both Mike and Anna. Yeah, they are both the owners. So we can say Mike and Anna's apartment. But if I want to talk about 2 different apartments, one belonging to Mike and one to Anna, I have to put the apostrophe and the S after each name, and my noun is now plural. Yeah, Mike's and Anna's apartments in plural. Let's see. Yes, we use them instead of with people, animals, and time, but not with things or abstract nouns. I'm going to give you an example. The example that we have is the responsibilities of the head of the department. If we say the head of the department's responsibilities, it's too clunky, yeah, because we are putting our apostrophe S after department, and this is all a noun. The head of the department, it's the whole thing. So if we put it here in the back, it's confusing. Yeah, it doesn't sound good. Let's see. So we have Sarah's bag. Sarah, it's a woman. So the bag of Sarah sounds less natural. It's grammatically correct, but no native speaker will say this. The cat's tail. The tail of the cat, you could say this, depending on what you want to say. In general, we tend to use the shorter version. A month's salary. Mi salario mensual. The salary of a month, it's awkward. It sounds awful. The roof of the building. The building's roof. Can the building, a thing, an object, own something, have property of something? It's kind of strange, right? Buildings, inanimate objects cannot own property. So this sounds off. And the painting's colors, the color of the painting in this case, see that you could say this, but this is much better. It sounds better. The painting's colors, it sounds unnatural, yeah? Okay. Determiners and quantifiers. As I said, they show what time of reference the noun is making. If it's a definite noun or an indefinite noun. So we have articles such as, well, in this case, zero article, which is there is nothing in front of the noun. And we use this for languages, countries, sports, general substances like water. She speaks Spanish. We don't say she speaks a Spanish. There is no need to add anything in the middle. The indefinite article, which refers to a non-specific noun. If I say she stated a hypothesis, una. I'm not clarifying which one. It's a hypothesis, una. I read for an hour, 1 hour. Instead of saying 1 hour, I said an hour. When do you use a and an? It depends on how the next word sounds, how it starts. The clear example, the usual example, it's apple. Yeah, when your noun, your object starts with a, it sounds like a, you will use an, like in hour. Yeah, an hour. If you say, I read for an hour, it sounds awful. Yeah, like in Spanish, we don't say la agua, we say el agua. Different example, but it's the same thing. Even though agua, it's feminine, you use el because agua starts with a, so it sounds awful. In English, you don't have el y la. There are no generic articles, but you have a and an. So hypothesis, it's the sound of a J, ha. Hypothesis. A hypothesis, it's okay, but a hour sounds awful. So you say an hour, an apple, yeah. And the definite article, which is the word the. And this refers to a specific noun. In this case, our example is the sun, because there is only one sun. If I'm living on Earth, on planet Earth, I can talk about the moon. But if I go to Saturn, there are many moons around that planet. So if I say the moon, it doesn't make sense because I have many more moons. Yeah, there are plenty of moons. I don't know how many moons, but a lot of moons. So you can use the when it's one specific noun. In our case, the researcher, not just any researcher, no cualquiera, the researcher, that particular researcher. And here, and I want you to do this, it's exercise 3.1. Let's go. I'm going to open the handbook. I was checking some things, 3.1, so you can look at it. Possessive nouns. I put it in a different order. So we have these. Are you seeing the PDF? Yes.
Yes, we can
Perfect.
see the PDF.
So we had ChatGPT create this beautiful short text for us to use it as a fill the gaps or fill in the blanks exercise. And you have to use the, a, or an, or in some cases, no article, the zero article, to complete this short text. Yeah. I will say that you take a few minutes and then I will put up the answers so we can compare. We are not going to read the whole thing. So we can compare your answers with what we were looking for, what we expected. Let me know if you want me to move it so you can read the rest of the text. Let me know when you're ready.
I can start with the first paragraph.
Okay, let's wait a little bit more so everyone is on the same page, but yes. Hmm? Perfect, guys. Are you ready?
I'm in the last, but yes.
Perfect. Mm, okay. Yeah, it's a nice practice to try to read it out loud. When you read it, we are going to take turns with the paragraphs and emphasize in the article that you used. Or if you didn't use, just keep reading. Do you want to start, Diego? Maybe reading the first paragraph.
Yes, I do.
Processes.
Water is an essential component of all known life forms. It constitutes a significant portion of all of the human body, making up approximately 60% of the total body weight. In biological systems, water serves as a solvent, facilitating the biochemical reactions necessary for cellular processes.
Perfect. So he used it's an.
Ah,
If you
water
say
is an essential, essential.
And suppose
yes,
essential.
an
And
essential
it's,
component. Yes. No, yeah,
yes,
you
of
said it
course.
unessential. If you say
Yeah,
essential, it's like it cuts the flow of the speech
yes, because is beginning with a vocal.
with a vocal. Yes.
Yeah,
It constitutes a
constitutes
significant, yes, making up approximately 60% of the total body weight,
total body
yes.
weight.
Water serves as a solvent,
So,
facilitating the biochemical reactions necessary for cellular processes. Does anybody want to read this one or say the answers? Or
It's
Sorry, I have a
necessary to
question.
put there in the point 5 because in my case
It's the same question.
In this case, yes, because it's not just I'm still with biomechanical. It's not biochemical reactions in general. It's the biochemical reactions necessary for cellular processes. Those particular ones. Let me see, because I might be saying it wrong, but yes, it's the. Yeah, because I'm not talking about just any biochemical reaction in the world. I'm talking about a particular group of biochemical reactions.
okay.
Yeah.
Specific.
Yes. Perfect. Who wants to go with the 6 or with the second paragraph?
Can go.
Yeah.
A molecule of water consists of two hydrogen atoms bounded to one oxygen atom. This unique molecular structure allows water to have a high heat capacity and cohesive properties.
Perfect. Yeah.
Continue.
Yeah, the next sentence, and that's
As a result, water plays a crucial role in regulating temperature within organisms and environments.
Okay, in this case, because this is a phrase that we will use a lot in science, we need to put an article in front of that. And in that case, what sounds better, as the result or as a result? Is it the only result, or it's only one of many results? ¿Un resultado o el resultado?
El resultado.
Why? Is this the only result of this?
Porque sorry, because in the previous synthesis, you say that this is a particular structure, and this is the result of that.
Yeah, the idea here is that water has many functions on Earth, many results. There are many things that come from this molecular structure, not only the role that it has to regulate temperature, but it has many results. We need it in our bodies, for example. Yeah. So I will say as a result, it's only one of many results. And this is a phrase that we will see and we will use a lot in science.
Can I say it without an article as result?
No. As result, no. There is no a logical reason. It just sounds off. It sounds wrong. As result, I would use an a. Tommy, what do you think?
Yeah, you're probably thinking, Diego, in Spanish and translated it into
Como
English.
resultado.
Resultado, claro.
Yes,
But yes,
most of the time I hear as a result, but maybe as a result of others, like making it general or general or.
I have the same idea of have been read it as results. I don't know. Maybe I'm confused. The idea of have been read it. Okay, it's
you
a result.
can, yeah, you can use it, but then you need to add a verb after result. So as results suggested, so you were talking, yeah, your
And
result general.
yes.
Maybe that. Okay.
And you need result to be plural, not
Yeah.
singular. See, only one letter changes a lot. Yeah. You can say as results suggest or suggested, like Tommy said. In that case, yes. But this short phrase, como resultado, what we say in Spanish, como resultado, in English, it's translated into as a result because it's one of many results.
Right. Okay.
Sorry, you can also add, but I guess that you will go through this kata. You can also use like a possessive noun. So you can say as this result, but you are referring to a specific result that you previously described.
Yes.
But here in this case, since you're not referring to any specific result, the correct way of using this indefinite article is to use as a result.
Perfect. Okay.
Thanks.
Who dares?
I have a question.
Yes.
With and number 6. Why
6.
is a molecule of water and not the molecule of water?
You could use both in that case. Let's see what I have in 6. I have a, but you could use the molecule of water because you're talking in general about that particular molecule in general. You could use it.
Okay.
Yeah. In this
Okay,
case,
thank you.
because we want to specify that it's only one, maybe, but you could, depending on the rest of the sentence.
Okay, thank you.
Perfect. Does anyone want to read this one, this paragraph? What do you think? It's through atmosphere, through a atmosphere, through an atmosphere, or through the atmosphere?
I think
For me.
The
because there is one atmosphere and it doesn't make sense to.
Yes. On Earth, we only have one atmosphere, so it's the atmosphere.
Okay, yes.
Driven by
process.
the processes of evaporation, condensation, and precipitation. These cycles are vital for maintaining
A balance.
a balance of the
The
Earth.
On Earth
balance.
climate.
The balance, yes,
Of the
el
Earth.
balance, no un balance. You could, depending on how the sentence follows, you could use a balance, a balance between two things, perfect. But in this case, it's the balance of the Earth, climate, and supporting life diversity. No article in 15. Yeah. So here you have the of the and no article in 15.
No. Yes.
Sorry, it's actually necessary to, in the number 12, I put 0 by processes of evaporation, condensation, and precipitation.
No, yeah, you could put 0 by, let me in, driven by processes of evaporation, condensation, and precipitation. In 12, yeah, depending, in this case, I was looking for the, but you could put it depending on what follows and the context of your sentence. Yeah,
Okay.
yes, you could leave it empty. So water also acts as
A medium.
a medium, yes, un medio. It's not the only one, it's just one type of
Yeah.
medium.
Mhm.
For example, in vascular plants,
Oh.
water is transported from roots to leaves through
Sealant.
The
The xylem vessels.
the xylem vessels, carrying essential minerals and nutrients. In animals, blood, which is primarily composed of water, distributes oxygen and nutrients
To the cells.
the
To the-
cells. Yes, a las células. Moreover, water's solvent properties enable dissolution and transport of gases or the dissolution and transport of gases.
A dissolution.
A dissolution,
the
Need the
yes. The process, yes, the dissolution. This is particularly important in
the
the respiratory process of aquatic organisms. I'm going to skip the rest. In conclusion, understanding.
It's not necessary the word there.
the
Here in 21,
Yes.
yes.
I will put it. Understanding the properties and functions of waters. If you say understanding properties and functions, in this case, I would use the article. The. The properties and functions of water in biological systems is fundamental to
The field.
the fields of ecology, of biology, ecology, and environmental science. Through
The
the study of water's role, scientists can gain insights into,
mechanisms
again, the mechanisms to sustain life and develop strategies to address challenges such as water scarcity and pollution.
It's not necessary.
No
Yes.
article here.
Yes.
No article.
And 23, I put, no, I didn't put the article. It will be okay if I don't use the article.
In this case, no, you need the article. In this
Okay.
particular case, you need the article.
Okay.
If I say true study of water's role, there is something missing in that sentence. So I say through the study of water's role.
Okay.
Yeah. Notice that when I pronounce that article, the, in some cases I said the, and in some cases I said the. And that depends on how the word starts, how you say it. For example, here, of the earth. When I pronounce it, I will say the earth, so the two S do not become mixed. If I say the earth, it sounds off. I have to cut in the middle. But if I say balance of the earth climates, you can identify that there are two different words there. Yeah, so the balance, the earth. You will notice that difference in pronunciation, but it's the same word. Okay, we'll go back to our, yes,
teacher, can you come back to the exercise?
yes.
In the case of there were 19 space, yeah. Could I leave it without an article to make it more general?
Enable.
To make like
No,
a general statement.
I don't. As it is, like in this particular sentence, I don't think it sounds right if you leave it without the article. Water solvent properties enable.
Dissolution and transport of gases. For me, sounds
Enable the dissolution, maybe. The dissolution.
You could give us an example related to leave the word there or not use the word, because I feel the same dude of Diego, because sometimes when I read plurals, nouns, I think it's better leave the word there.
In some cases, you will need the word there, like in here, respiratory processes. You need the word the in the respiratory processes.
But
in some other cases, you may not need it. In this case, for example, you do need it. The problem is that they can mean el, la, las, los. Can be singular, feminine, plural, masculine. It can be anything it wants, depending on the noun they are affecting. It's affecting, so it's tricky. The
reason I say that there is no need for an article in that case is because after that they specify which cases enables dissolution and transport.
Such as oxygen and carbon dioxide.
So the first part would be a more general statement, and then they specify it in the second part.
Yes, I see what you mean. I don't like how it sounds without the de. It just, remember that yesterday I told you sometimes you have to go with your instinct, and how something sounds can tell you a lot. In this case, if I read it in my head, or if I read it out loud, moreover, water's solvent properties enable dissolution and transport of gases such as oxygen. And I feel like there is something missing there in my head when I read it. My head, it's telling me there is something that it's off. That sentence, it's incomplete. I don't know what you think, Tommy.
We can double check that, but I see a pattern in these two sentences that you are discussing, that you have, although they are quite general,
Yes.
there is a specification on the transport, on the dissolution and transport, that is of gases, and then there is a particular description on the respiratory processes that are of aquatic organisms.
Yes.
So there you have like some detail that add to this like generic processes or generic descriptions that you have in your sentence. So yeah, apart from that, it sounds awkward if you don't de. I think
Yeah, what I
is-
understand is that
Yeah.
you're saying that if the sentence ended here, if it didn't have this part that I
Yes.
crossed, you could leave it without the article. Enable dissolution and transport of gases, period. The whole process. In this case, as you provide an example, you make it more particular. And you need the de. And the same happens here. It's not just respiratory processes, it's respiratory processes of aquatic organisms. I could, in 20, I could leave it without the de if I only had respiratory processes. But when I add something afterwards, it leaves the sentence incomplete if I don't add that article. You are going to be asking yourselves, how do I know when it's incomplete and when it's not incomplete? And that comes with practice, my friends. There is no other way than to read and listen a lot to a lot of English. That's the idea of the course, that you're exposed and things become familiar to you, like you get familiar with these kind of things, and they will start sounding off, wrong. So sometimes you don't know what's the problem with your sentence, but you can tell that something is wrong with that sentence. And that's when we involve ChatGPT if we don't know it. Perfect. And let's see.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, quantifiers. I'm laughing about your camera, Tommy. We use quantifiers before nouns to indicate quantity or an amount of something without actually giving a number. Instead of saying, I have 5 papers, I can say I have some papers, several papers, many papers, yeah? Several, varios, some, algunos, many, muchos. So I'm giving an idea of the quantity but I'm not giving a precise number. Yeah, in countable nouns like paper, we use many, few, a few, several, various. We can use each paper, cada paper, every paper, meaning all of them, todos or cada uno. In uncountable nouns, instead of many, we use much. Little, a little, and a bit. Little es poco. There is a little sugar, there is little sugar left. Hay poca azúcar. There is little time for me to do this. Hay poco tiempo, yeah? Or you could say, I don't have much time. Yo no tengo mucho tiempo. And there are some that can be used with both countable and uncountable nouns, such as some, any, no, all, most, and more. I will, what time is it? I didn't want to show it. I have to use my cell phone. Let's go to exercise 3.2. But I will read it out loud and we will try to complete it. Yeah. Because here you have a great diversity of things that you can use. So enzymes play a crucial role in the chemical reactions that occur in the human body. Without them, some of these reactions, all of these reactions, most of these reactions,
Some
of these reactions would take place too slowly to sustain life. Could be, yes, it sounds good. Metabolism involves
Any processes?
many processes.
many processes, including the breakdown of nutrients and the synthesis of essential molecules. Enzymes
said
are specific to one reaction.
some.
Some enzymes are specific to one reaction or one type of molecule, while others can act on, how do you say varios?
Many different.
Several.
Several, yes. Several different substances, varias, several different substances. For proper function, enzymes often need cofactors such as vitamins or minerals. Unfortunately, in poor diets, essential nutrients are missing. What? All, some, several?
Some.
You could say some essential nutrients, yes, are missing, which may reduce enzyme efficiency. In a healthy body, of the glucose from food, it's broken down to release energy. What would you put here? All. Is it all? And this
No,
is
it is not all.
La mayoría, right? Not all. It depends on how much glucose we ingest, actually. But in general, it's most. La mayoría. Most of the glucose from food is broken, or some, you could say some. However, energy is lost as heat during process. What? Some energy, not all. Some energy, it's lost. Scientists have discovered that enzymes become less active with age, leading to slower metabolism in older adults. Tell me
Ahí
about
sí yo pondría some.
some enzymes.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think that this is a generalized thing. Let's see the answers at the end, but some it's possible, most it's also possible. Even though enzymes are incredibly efficient, they can be affected by temperature, pH, and the presence of inhibitors. Sorry.
Yeah.
Inhibitors are natural, while others are synthetic and used in medicine. What would you put here?
Some.
Some inhibitors are natural. Why? Because it says algunos son naturales,
Right.
mientras que otros, yeah, so I'm comparing with the right conditions, enzymes can speed up reactions by a factor of 1,000,000 or more.
Some? No.
We
All of-
could put some, most, all. It
All
depends
of-
on the actual content.
Mostly.
Mostly, most, we could put most. Yeah. Mostly, it's an adverb, and it means mayormente. Just,
Right.
yeah. Let's see. All enzyme was the last one. So, but yes, the options that we gave are all
Many.
possible. The answers that we were looking for are these ones, but you got the idea.
Mm.
Okay. Do you want to do a short, quick break? Let's
Yes.
meet back
Yes.
like 9:15. A quick break. Yeah,
Okay, yes.
perfect. And now start sharing again. Yes, perfect. So pronouns, those things that we use to replace nouns. We have 9 different types. I'm not expecting you to remember all of them or even to remember the name of the types. I don't care. I just want you to become familiar that they exist, hear them, yeah, and know how they are used. And then by using them, you will master them. We really use pronouns. First, personal pronouns. I, you, he, she, it. Yeah? These are personal pronouns that are used in the subjects of the sentences. I study English. She studies English. Yeah, that's the subject of the sentence. But there are also a set of pronouns that are used in the object of the sentence. And those are me, you, him, her. Yeah. When I say it affects me, yeah, I'm the object of that sentence, the me. Yeah. And here I want to present you the singular they. I'm going to mention this because it's used sometimes in academic English, but it's also used in conversational English. When you don't know the gender of a person, even if it's just one person, you can refer to that person as a they. This is used also for non-binary language when the person it's identified as non-binary, or when I don't know the gender or it's irrelevant. Yeah, I don't care if it's a she or a he. It can be a they. Well, to be gender inclusive for individuals that identify as non-binary. In this case, we have an example. The student is presenting their findings today. They will be joining us at 3 p.m. It's only one student, but I don't know the gender, or I don't care about their gender, or it's a non-binary person. Yeah. And this has become more frequently used in the past few years. Yeah. So it's respectful to treat people as they want to be treated. And if they, if a person identifies as non-binary, it's not okay to call that person he or she, even if externally it looks as a he. Yeah. And in some emails with colleagues, you may see in the signature of the emails the pronouns that they use. Yeah, it's she, her, he, him, or they can say they, them. Yeah. In that case, don't be surprised. It's just that they are non-binary and they want you to use the pronoun they. Possessive pronouns. Mine, yours, his, hers. Yeah, this is her, hers. Esto es de ella. Yeah. And they always go in the object. These pronouns cannot be subject of sentences. Our example is, I was worried because all my mates got their results already. They told me, the teachers told me, I'm getting mine in a few days. Yeah, I'm getting mine. I'm getting my results. Yeah, instead of repeating results, I'm getting my results, I say I'm getting mine. It's obvious that I'm talking about the results. What happens here? My thesis dealt with vertebral morphology in dolphins. Their paper will be published next month. You should provide better support for your hypothesis. As I said, Possessive pronouns, mine, hers, his, cannot be used in the subject. But these words that are underlined, they represent possession, right? So we can be confused about this. In this case, these are possessive adjectives. Mi thesis, it's a quality of the thesis. It's my thesis. Whose thesis? My thesis. Whose paper? ¿Cuál paper? Their paper. Yeah, su paper. And as a result, possessive adjectives always need a noun. I cannot say my dealt with because I'm missing something. Mi qué? My what? I'm not specifying the object I'm referring to. Okay, yes, we have this little practice. Then some of the exercises, we will be skipping them because I was like ambitious and I put too many exercises. We are not going to have time to do all of them. So think about the possessive pronouns and possessive adjectives, right? Mine, hers, his, theirs, ours, those are the pronouns, and my, your, her, his, those are possessive adjectives. Remember what I said
Yes.
about adjectives always need a noun. Yeah.
I'm guessing Evans is a man.
Dr. Evans, it's a man.
Evans.
Yes. In this case, yes. Dr. Evans, it's a man. Yeah. It's a male. Yeah. So if it's a he in the subject,
His, the manuscript of the desk is his.
it's his. Oh, I have all this is the one that I had changed. It's his. Yes. It's his. We need to finish our presentation before the conference begins. Yes, nuestra. The data in table 3 supports Professor Liu's hypothesis. There are plenty of possibilities.
Yours.
Not
Mine.
yours,
Mine.
not mine.
I
Yeah.
would put theirs.
Not theirs. Yes. In this case, I put theirs, but mine, yours. It's all possible. The students were asked to compare essays. Their essays. Notice the difference. This is the possessive pronoun and this is the possessive adjective. Yeah. Their essays. This is a noun. So it takes an adjective. In this case, we don't have anything after. So we should use a possessive noun. And the last one, although both studies use similar methods, only
Mine.
mine, only theirs, only his, a possessive noun. Yeah, because we don't have another noun after that. Only ours. Yeah, they were all possible. Okay, we will not be doing this today because we need to keep going. If we have time at the end, we will come back to this. We have reflexive pronouns. Myself, yourself, himself. In plural, it turns to yourselves. Yeah. When I want to say a mí mismo, a sí mismo, a ellos mismos, we use this kind of pronouns. I could say, I taught myself English, meaning that yo me enseñé a mí misma, yeah? I learned on my own. I taught myself, yeah? He taught himself. They taught themselves, yeah? Themselves. So the example we have is, I conducted the statistical analysis myself to ensure the accuracy and integrity of the results. Yeah, so I did it myself, yo misma. To develop a critical perspective, you must first familiarize yourself with the foundational theories of the discipline. Could you not include yourself here? Yes, you could not include it, but in this example, I wanted to highlight reflexive pronouns. The system adjusts itself automatically, a sí mismo. Let's see, the participants were instructed to complete the questionnaire by themselves, por ellos mismos, por sí mismos. Demonstrative pronouns. I'm sure that all of you have heard and seen these pronouns. Here I put the pronunciation because in English, it's important how you say, especially, let me use the pointer, this and these. You may say, oh, don't be so exquisite, don't be so annoying, but sometimes it's good to have a good pronunciation. And this pronoun, it's almost an e, a short e, this. It's not an e, it's not these, it's this. And in this case, you will say these. It's almost as if you smile when you say the pronoun, these. The difference is that this pronoun, it's singular. And this, which is pronounced these, it's plural, so it can make a difference. So I will say, this is obvious, esto. That's an understanding, eso, it's away from me. And they can be used as determinants. Let's see, I'm missing a table here. That paper is due to be published this month. That paper, ese paper. It means that it's far away from me. It's not close to me. I don't have, no, I think that the table, it's on the handbook, and we can look at it right now. Yeah, you will have this when it's close and singular, these when it's close and plural, that when it's singular but far away, and those when it's plural and far away. Yeah. Perfect. Maybe we can try to do this one, this exercise 3.8. Okay. So what do you think? Is it a this close singular, or a these, or a that?
This.
This. It's close and it's only one. This paper examines the impact of social media on mental health. These days, plural, but close. these days, social media has become an integral part of our lives, with many of us spending hours each day scrolling through news feeds and posting updates. This study analyzes the effects of social media use on self-esteem, anxiety, and depression. It examines the differences in these effects between social media platforms, as well as the impact of age and gender. Notice that I'm like exaggerating the pronunciation, right? To be able to tell the difference. The findings of
This.
This study, keep in mind, if we know that it's singular, it could change, both could fit. In this case, I think that we are referring to this particular study. This study suggests that social media use can have both positive and negative effects on mental health.
Those
effects, or
These
effects, because we are referring to the ones that we mentioned right before.
Yes.
These effects vary depending on the platform and the individual user. For example, some social media platforms may be more likely to lead to feelings of anxiety or depression, while others may be more conducive to building a sense of community and connection. One of the key factors in determining the impact of social media on mental health, it's the user's engagement with the platform.
Those.
Those who use social media primarily from passive consumption, such as scrolling through a newsfeed, are more likely to experience negative effects on their mental health. On the other hand, again, those who use social media to engage with others and create content are more likely to experience positive effects. Another factor that influences the impact of social media on mental health is age. This, yes. This, I don't know why is it cut in the middle. It's only one word. This study found that younger users, especially teenagers, are more vulnerable to negative effects on their mental health than older users.
Yes.
This is due in part because I'm referring to this previous phrase, yeah? This is due in part to the fact that younger users are more likely to compare themselves to others on social media and feel the pressure to present a perfect image. Despite the potential negative effects of social media on mental health, there are also many positive aspects. For example, social media can provide a sense of community and support for individuals who may not have access to
those.
It's resources, it's plural, and I'm talking about esos. They are far away, figuratively, not literally. Those resources, yeah? I'm going to skip this. In conclusion, social media can have significant effects on mental health, both positive and negative, by understanding the factors that influence these effects, we can better navigate the use of social media and mitigate its negative consequences. This includes being mindful of our engagement with the platform and taking steps to build a healthy relationship with social media. Yeah. We use this kind of pronouns very, very often when writing to avoid repetition. Yeah, when, like we did in this case, we are talking about effects on mental health, and then we refer to these effects, the ones that we mentioned in the previous sentence. Perfect. Well, we have the answer. Interrogative pronouns. These are a little bit more complicated, but we use them also. And they are the words that, some of the words that we saw yesterday with the questions. What are the primary factors? In this case, who is responsible? Which of these? Yeah, we saw all of them yesterday with questions. We are going to skip this also because we are moving into relative. And here we have again which and what. Which, that, and what. But they are used in relation to things. And in this case, they are used to add information. Yeah, I have examples. The institution, which is known for its innovative research, recently launched a new sustainability program. I'm adding information to clarify something about the institution. Yeah, I'm adding information about the institution. Yes. Another, the theory that was proposed in the early 20th century. Which theory? ¿Cuál teoría? The one that was proposed on the 20th century. Yeah. We also have the pronouns who, whoever, or whom, whoever, used in relation to people, to add information about people, to add clarification about people. The researcher who conducted the study, yeah, el cual realizó el estudio. The scientist whom the committee selected. ¿A quiénes? In this case, it's translated to a quiénes. Los científicos a quienes el comité seleccionó. Notice the difference between who and whom. The researcher who conducted the study. It was the researcher, the one doing the action. But in this case, the scientists are not doing the action. The committee selected those scientists. That's why I use whom and not who. Yeah. The scientists whom the committee selected for the keynote, for the keynote address has published extensively on climate policy. I'm adding information about this scientist, but I'm referring to the scientist as someone who received an action from someone else. In this case, the committee. If I wanted to use who, I could, but I would have to change the sentence. I could say the scientist who was selected by the committee. Yeah. And whose, it's used to indicate ownership. And I have an example also, which is the author whose article was cited. El autor cuyo artículo. That's the translation here. Yeah, because it's the owner of this article.
I have a question.
Yes.
Shouldn't whose be classified as possessive pronoun?
But no, because we cannot use it alone at the end of the sentence. So we cannot actually replace a noun by itself. You need to add a noun to that whose. I can say the author whose article, but I cannot say the author whose. Yeah. In this case, it indicates ownership, but it's not classified as a possessive pronoun, because you cannot put it alone at the end of the sentence. It means cuyo. Cuyo ¿qué? I need a noun after whose. Yeah, I always need a noun after this. After this type of pronoun. That's why it's used to indicate ownership, and it's ownership, it's not the same as possession in this particular case. Yeah. Okay. Indefinite article. You may have heard these words. Let's see. No one, nothing, nobody, everyone, everything, everybody, anything, something. Yeah. They are indefinite pronouns. Pronombres indefinidos. Nothing, nada. It's not referring to a particular thing. Yeah. Anybody, anyone, anything, cualquier cosa, cualquier persona. Yeah. They are always used with the third person singular. Anybody is anything there? I can never use them with the plural verb. Yeah. Here you have some examples. Everyone has secrets. Something is missing. Nobody was looking. Is anyone there? Is everything okay? Yeah. Everything, todo, may seem as a plural. But in Spanish, we also say it in singular. ¿Está todo bien? Is everything okay? It's a singular. It's a singular thing, right? Is everything okay? And we will use nothing, everything, everyone. Everyone should be involved. Yeah, we will use these kind of pronouns frequently in our writing and in our communication mostly. So we have another example. Everyone involved in the trial was required to sign a confidentiality agreement. Well, nothing in the data suggests a direct correlation between the two variables. Nada. Yeah. Here, notice that these are nouns. Everyone, nothing. It's a noun. It's a thing. Todos. It's an abstract noun, but it is a noun. And they can function as subjects or as objects. They can appear in different parts of the sentence. Okay. Reciprocal, each other, another. We use them when we compare two things. The two researchers provided feedback to each other's manuscripts. A los manuscritos del otro. Yeah, to each other's manuscript. In collaborative learning environments, students often learn more effectively when they engage with one another. Cuando se relacionan entre sí. That's why I say that they are used to compare between things, entre sí, el uno al otro, yeah? Each other's, one another. Don't worry, because we are going to keep working with every subject that we cover during the grammar part during this week. We will keep working during the in-person session. And finally, we have dummy subjects or dummy pronouns. And we use this a lot. And they can be confusing, so I want to focus a little bit on these ones. It and their, we saw them as pronouns, as personal pronouns, as relative pronouns. There, it's also an adverb, for example. So they can have other functions, but in this case, we are going to look at them as dummy pronouns. Dummy means fake, falso. So they don't have any explicit meaning. They are not translated, but they are necessary to the sentence structure. Remember, we talked a little bit about this yesterday. As they don't have actual meanings, they don't replace nouns, but they fill a function in the sentence. Note that they can have other grammatical roles. And here we have some examples. There are several factors. There is plenty of evidence. It is important to point out. Notice this, with there, I can have there are or there is, depending on what comes after. In this case, several factors, it's a plural noun. So I need a plural verb, are. Evidence, it's uncountable. So we always need a singular verb, yeah? There is plenty evidence. With the dummy pronoun it, you can never have a plural verb after. It's always singular. So it is important. It is a rainy day, not here, but it is a sunny day. It is relevant, we could say. Yeah. It's well known, es bien sabido. What? It's well known, a thing, an abstract thing. When you translate these sentences, it's well known, it translates into es, something es. It's an abstract construction. There have been several or many authors. Oh, sorry, I have my allergies are killing me. There have been several or many authors. Yeah, in this case, my plural verb, it's here, have. There has been one author, or there have been many authors. Yeah, notice how it changes. And I do want us to do this exercise, which is exercise 3.10. Where are you? Here. And you are supposed to complete these sentences with it or there. How do I know what to put? Notice this. After there are, there is, you will always have a noun, an object, yeah, a thing. But after is, after it, you will have an adjective. It is important, it is well known, it is, well, it is raining outside. Yeah. So we are going to analyze these sentences and see what we need. Or just try to see how they sound. If I say, There is important to conduct. Does it sound okay? No, it sounds awful because
It is.
it is important to conduct. Es importante to do something. It is important to conduct research, blah, 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 blah. Now, if I say, it
There
has
has.
been a growing interest, what sounds better? It has been or there has been?
There has been.
There has been, ha habido. There has been a growing interest.
There has been.
Here. What do you think? It or there?
It.
It.
But it's missing something there. It's commonly.
You're missing, yeah, we are missing the verb
Yeah.
here. The same happens here. We are missing the verb.
There are.
There are, yes.
There are several.
There are several limitations to the study, blah, 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 blah. We are not going to read the whole sentence.
There has.
There has been demonstrated or
No.
It has.
It has been.
It has, yeah.
Ha sido.
It
Ha
has
sido.
been.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In general, it's referring to one singular abstract thing, and there can be translated into Spanish como hay. Hay 5 autos. There are 5 cars. There are several papers. Hay muchos trabajos. Where? We don't care. It's not important. They exist. Yeah? Here, in this case,
There are.
there, because you cannot have it before a plural verb. Here,
It has been a significant increase.
it has been
It has been. Ha sido. Yes. There has been.
what sounds better in your head? It has been a significant increase or there has been? Así, pasa
There
again.
has.
It sounds better there. There has been. Ha habido un incremento significante. If I put it has been a significant increase, I could, but not in this particular sentence. I could use it if in the previous sentence, I talked about something and I'm continuing in the next sentence. Well, esto ha sido un incremento significante from what we previously know, what we previously knew, yeah? But as this sentence is right now, I cannot use it in this particular case, yeah? So if I say, it has been a significant increase in the number of publications in the field. It sounds strange. It's better to say there has been. Ha habido. Here.
Yeah, and then let
Yes.
me say something.
Yes,
Kata.
yes.
You can, so there is a rule that you need, so you can check what comes after the it or the there. So if it is an adjective, like it is important, or if it is
Here. Commonly
a
known.
verb, it has been demonstrated, then it goes it. But if you have a noun, like there are many factors, or there are several limitations, or there has been a growing interest, so there is the noun there. So growing is modifying the noun that is interest, or in this case that you were discussing, there has been a significant increase.
Yeah.
So here you have a noun modified with an adjective, right? That is significant. So there, if you have a noun following your subject, then you need to use there. So there has been a significant increase. You can translate it or rephrase it. It has been shown, but there you have the verb has been shown. So you need to use it instead of there. It also
Okay.
sounds awful. There has been it has been a significant increase, but you can relate that after it, you have a verb on an adjective, and after there is a noun.
Yes. Yes. Like in this case, do you see sorry, do you see a noun after this? Like in here, do you see a noun in the middle? Oh, we have study, but it's not directly after the verb.
No.
No, there is no noun. So what should we put here?
It
It
was
was suggested.
It was
was-
suggested. Ha sido sugerido. Ha sido sugerido. Notice that they might translate to similar phrases in Spanish. That's a problem. Okay, do you see a noun here?
No.
No.
Controversy, controversia. That's a thing. Even if it's
Oh.
abstract, this is a noun, la controversia. If you can
Oh.
put de or a in front of a word and it sounds good, that means that that word, it's a noun, it's a thing. In this case, I can say the controversy and it sounds okay. So in this case, we have controversy as our noun. So what should I put here, there or it? What do you think? It has been some controversy or there has been some controversy? What
It.
sounds better?
There.
There. I could, in this case, it's
There
there.
has
There
been.
has been some controversy. If I want to use it, I can
No.
say it has been controversial.
Ah, okay.
Ha sido
Controversial.
controversial. Exactly. Yeah. It has been controversial. Yes, but controversial, it's an adjective, not a noun. Okay. And here, it is believed. Creído. Se cree. There is believed or it is believed?
It is.
It.
It is. It is believed that something happens. I don't care. But it is believed. And here, the last one. Some challenges. You have some challenges. Algunos desafíos.
There.
There.
There
There.
were some challenges. Yes, there were some challenges. When do we use these kind of dummy subjects? When we want to talk about abstract things, abstract ideas, or general ideas. In papers, we can use it to refer to general hypotheses done previously, like it has been suggested. I don't want to start the sentence with fulanito suggested. I want to, because maybe it wasn't only one author, maybe you had multiple authors suggesting something similar, and you don't want to put all the authors. So you generalize. It has been suggested that something happens, and you put your citations, your references at the end of that sentence. Okay, I think that was our last. Yes, here we have all the answers. And that was our last slide for today. Notice that we have the homework for you today are practice 7 and pronouns and determiners. These practices will help you fix all this information that we shared with you today, but it will take practice, and in some cases it will be difficult for you to know, and we will go to ChatGPT to ask, should I use, is this sentence correct? And there is nothing wrong on using ChatGPT that way to check that what you wrote, it's okay, yeah? But we don't want ChatGPT writing for us, ChatGPT or any AI, because mostly or lately it has started to lie. ChatGPT, it's lying to you guys first. Then ChatGPT, it's inventing references. It has happened that it just creates papers that do not exist. And they give you it gives you a DOI. It gives you page numbers and the volume of the journal that doesn't exist. When you go to Google Scholar to look for that paper, you cannot find it. And the DOI doesn't work. That's because that paper doesn't exist. So it has been doing that. So be very, very careful when you use ChatGPT and how you use it, because lately it has been turning into a liar. In my case, when I ask the chat to review something for me, I specifically request for the chat not to be condescending, que no sea condescendiente, not to be nice. Don't be nice towards me. Be objective. Be harsh. Be an independent reviewer. I don't have to like you, ChatGPT. You have to be honest. Yeah, so try to include, if you, how many of you, I will stop sharing my screen so I can see you. How many of you use ChatGPT?
I do.
Yeah, we most of
Me
us
too.
do. Yeah,
Yes.
most of us use ChatGPT,
ChatGPT, Copilot,
DeepSeek.
Whale.
DeepSeek. Yeah, we all use those. They are called LLMs, language. I don't remember the acronym, but they are models of language.
Learn.
And they have those models. They learned how to lie to us. So we should be very, very careful when using them. Do not trust everything ChatGPT says. And if something sounds wrong, if it sounds bad, reframe your question. Ask a different question or challenge the chat. Most
Yes.
likely the chat will say, oh yeah, you're right. Good catch. Come on. Yes, but recently we discovered, actually my advisor discovered that there was a paper recently published citing a paper of him that doesn't exist. The AI invented a paper, and apparently in the journal, no one realized that. No one checked the references to see if they were real papers. So be careful with that. Okay, it's 10 past 10. Do you have questions, guys? Tommy, do you want to add anything?
No. So this is not a course of how to use ChatGPT or any artificial intelligence, but you might know that in order to properly use these tools, you need to properly write a prompt, right? So you need to communicate efficiently with what you want. And I think this course in that sense could help you. So to write properly, to use the pronouns properly, and to write the tenses properly of what you want the artificial intelligence for you to do or to help you. So yeah, the most clear you are, the more efficient you will be with the use of these kind of tools. And of course, you have to be aware of the references of inventing things. You need to previously have some knowledge to really use the power of the tool and not just say, I don't know anything and just please
Write this
designame.
introduction. Like, no.
Yes. Yes, but you need to write. So the message is that you need to be able to write a good prompt or several good prompts so you can lead the AI in your way and not the other way.
Yeah, you might be saying, yeah, but the prompts that I write are in Spanish, because how many of you use English prompts in ChatGPT? I bet that none of you uses English prompts or prompts in English in ChatGPT. So to practice English, I started using ChatGPT only in English. Why? Because I'm a geek. I'm a nerd and I want to improve my English like constantly. And that's like a challenge for me to try to be clear in English, to try to improve my clarity in English. And I can test that using ChatGPT in English. Or sometimes I write the prompt in Spanish, but I ask the chat in the prompt to answer in English. So I get a response in English. So you could start doing that, like writing your prompt in Spanish if you don't feel confident in your English, but asking the chat to reply to your prompt in English. That way you are practicing, yeah? Or to turn the prompt that you wrote in Spanish into English, yeah? But yeah, do not use ChatGPT to replace you guys, because there are also studies that show that the more you use ChatGPT or any of these AI to replace your thinking process, the less you think. So
what do you think about the pronunciation of ChatGPT? Because there is a function on ChatGPT that you can speak with it.
yeah, I think it's a little bit robotic, but apart from that, it's acceptable. It could be a little bit robotic at some points. And there are also some tools that on the first day of the in-person week, we will be sharing with you some tools to practice your speaking, some AI tools that are a little bit better than ChatGPT actually. But yes, yeah, any resource that you feel comfortable using, it's okay. Pronunciation-wise, ChatGPT has the proper phonetics, but it's still a little bit robotic, just because it's not a person. But there are other AI tools that you can use to practice your speaking, yeah, your pronunciation. Oh, my. Do you have any questions, guys? Any questions related to yesterday's homework? For those of you that are not or don't want to use the IELTS, the more advanced book, the books that I sent yesterday have also units for articles and pronouns and you can do those exercises. I don't care which exercises you do, but I want you to do one of those books. Yeah, you choose your own poison. Elijan su propio veneno.
I have a question related to the course. I don't know if you already said it, but is there any evaluation of the course?
Yes. So during the in-person week, there are different types of evaluations. So the first step will be to complete a questionnaire. The score, el puntaje, will not be average. So we only want you to complete the questionnaire. Yeah. And we can offer some like tutoring extra time if you need it to complete the questionnaire. Yeah, I'm willing to do that. And then the in-person week, during the whole week, you will be working on two types of evaluations. I'm using quotation marks because it's mostly about effort. Yeah. We are going to be assessing your effort, your work, not the perfection of the work, but that you put effort in and energy into it. Yeah. So during the week, you will have time during the classes, during the days, to prepare. You will be split in two groups, right? You are 7. Yes. You were supposed to be 9, but things happened. I don't know what happened, but you will be split in two groups, or you will split yourselves in two groups, and each group will prepare a final presentation, a PowerPoint presentation based on a work, on a poster, on a future paper. And at the same time, you will be working on a short manuscript. You will have time during the classes. It's not that you will have to do it outside the classes hours. You will have time during the classes. Each day we have at least an hour for you to work on the presentation, and then you will have extra time after the course finishes to deliver, to present your final manuscript. The first day of the course, we will have time to discuss how the groups are formed, what we want to see in the presentations, what we want to see in the manuscripts, and what work, what research paper you are going to be working on. So the idea is that you bring your own work and you work as a group on a particular paper that belongs to one of you. Yeah, the idea is that you get something useful out of this. So if in a particular group there is more than one paper or one subject available, we will put that to a lottery. I don't know, we will put either a coin, or we will choose or try to choose at random. Yeah, so no one gets because the actual author, the owner of the work, will have an extra benefit because they will get a manuscript, but they will also have more responsibility because they will have to deliver the figures, maybe. Yeah, prepare the figures. They will be more responsible for that final manuscript. We will talk about this during the first day. It's nothing impossible, and it doesn't have to be perfect, but we want you to work on a PowerPoint presentation and also on a short manuscript. With short, I mean, I think I said less than 3,000 words. I don't remember the guidelines, which I wrote, but I don't remember now what I said. Allow me to see something, because I have the requirements here to show to you. Let me just 1 second. Here, course objectives, grammar, functional, Let me, here. I'm going to share my screen again. Here. So to pass the course, to get your certificate, you should submit, I'm missing one M here, submit the grammar component questionnaire. Just do it. I don't care about the grade. You just have to do it. Attend at least 80% of both virtual and in-person classes. Participate in the final oral presentation and get a 7 out of 10 on the final project. Don't worry, we are nice people. We are nice people. It's not that we are going to be like really tough grading the project. So the final project will consist of a group presentation for students of a short manuscript to be submitted within 4 months. We should make it a little bit shorter, of the course end date. It must be based on one group member's work. You can have a draft paper or a poster, or we can provide you with a poster for you to work on. The thing is that we can provide you with a subject, but it will be a subject that none of you is familiar with. So if you have a poster that you want to write a paper on, bring it. The guidelines will be provided at the start of the functional component and will follow international standards. Manuscript will be evaluated by both Tommy and me, and we will provide written feedback and a grade within 2 months of submission. If you send your final project sooner, you will get the grade sooner and the certificates sooner. So if we can all agree that, I don't know, you will submit the final project within 1 month after the course finishes, perfect. Yeah. I have to, guys, I have to go. I'm so sorry. Maybe Tommy, can you stay if they have more questions? Because I'm getting a call related to the building of my house, and I need to get that.
Yeah, I can stay until 10:30 if there is any question.
Perfect. I will leave this open just to keep recording. Yeah.
Good.
Perfect. Sorry, I will silence myself.
Okay, thank you, Maria.
Yes, bye-bye.
I
yes,
have
but
to leave.
we will
Sorry.
share that guidelines with you, so you don't have to remember them. Okay, bye, Rebecca.
Bye.
Have a nice day. Is there any question? If not, we can leave it here, and you have 7 minutes.
No questions. Also, I have
do-
to leave, so
Okay.
bye. See you later.
Bye-bye, Luz.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay,
Okay.
bye. See you.
If there is no question, okay, see you tomorrow
Thomas?
at 8. Yes.
Thomas?
Yes,
Bye.
Sorry, tomorrow I won't be able to attend the classes because I'm in Salta in a congress and I have a training, a workshop tomorrow in the morning.
Okay.
So it's impossible. But then if it's possible, I can watch the video if it's recorded.
Yes, we will record these videos and we will upload it. So the first day is uploaded in the YouTube channel, and we will do the same with the other days. So yes, you can follow us.
Oh, perfect. Okay.
Okay.
Guys, thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, Wendy.